and I know that you are a your second job in life is a fisherman in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Indeed, it is. Indeed, it is, good sir. I fancy myself as an expert in salmon, sea bass, and pickerel.
Because I've never played it, you get to sell the fish, right?
You get to sell the fish. There are many different kinds of fish that you can catch, but the more exotic it is, and there are lots of exotic fish in that game. The more exotic it is, the higher price you could get for it. But that's not even the main purpose of fishing, Jay. I mean, fishing in general, my friend. I've never fished in real life, so I can only talk video game fishing. The purpose of it is really just to contemplate life.
Oh, okay. It's very therapeutic, is it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's nothing better than turning on your PS4, okay, getting the load screen to finish with its nonsense. And finally, when the game's about to begin, you're so excited, you're like so impatient. What you do is you get your fishing pole, you go to the pond, you fish, and you do nothing.
Wait. I've got another question tied into that. I know you can cook the fish and prepare a meal, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever found yourself?
You can.
You're fishing. You catch a nice sea bass, or I don't know, sea bass. You catch a nice salmon. You prepare it. You cook it.
Yeah.
And you get hungry, so you actually prepare yourself a fish meal in real life. Have you ever done that?
Let's just say that there is a direct relationship between the sales of Jaya Grocer in my neighborhood and the amount of salmon and sea bass that they have been selling, and the month in which Red Dead Redemption 2 became a staple in my living room. Direct relationship.
No, because whenever I come across an eating or cooking mechanic in a video game, I get hungry and I want to.
Yeah, and that's something you introduced, or is that a secret? That's something that you introduced in your game,
that's true.
Right? I mean, Singapore is famous for its street food and delectable wares. So one of the things you introduce in the game is being able to sample the different dishes of the places that you could visit in that game, right?
Yes, and again, it's been a tough few weeks doing that mechanic, because every time we'd work on that mechanic, I'd get hungry, and I feel really bad for our artist. I feel really bad for our artist.
I thought what you meant. I thought what you meant by that it's tough is that it's tough to develop, not that you get hungry and you get distracted.
Oh no! Forget about the really difficult coding and all that stuff. It's really just getting hungry, and I feel really bad for Ricardo, who actually created those dishes. Who rendered them in pixel art. Because he'd tell me he'd crave Singaporean food, and he lives all the way in Brazil, so he can't really satisfy that craving.
Dude, video game food. There's always food in the game, and that's something that I think is related to anime style storytelling, where everyday things like food help enhance the and move the story along. So Final Fantasy always had food in it. Red Dead Redemption 2, it had it. San Andreas had it. You're bringing it as well to your own game.
Yes, that's totally right. I remember I've got a distant memory of you playing Final Fantasy VII, and there's a scene in Midgar, right, where Cloud can have some Korean barbecue or something.
Yes,
and
you go on a date. Is that the date you go on a date with Aerith, right?
I think so. I think that's it. And even though the food was badly rendered, right? The graphics were very very minimal. It was very immersive. I think introducing food and slice of life elements into open world games really gives it that that next level of immersion.